stop sharing on my side.
Okay, so you should be watching my screen now.
Yes.
Okay. So, well, good morning to everybody. My name is Leire Domínguez. I'm from la Fundación Agustín de Betancourt and ACCIONA. And well, here you can see also my colleagues, Carla Tortelli and Gonzalo Pinto. So, well, now I am going to present the work developed from to perform the demonstration and evaluation of the BIM2TWIN project. So for presenting this work, we are dividing the presentation into two sections: the planning stage of the demonstration and the proper on-site demonstrations. So, well, first of all, I'm going to explain the objective of the demonstration work package of this research project. The aim of this work package is to carry out the testing of the beta version of the DBT platform developed in 3 real demo buildings with different typologies. Other actions of this work package are the collection of users' feedback, the validation of the user requirements defined at the beginning of the project, and to draw some recommendations from lessons learned on how DBT models can be used for construction management. Well, at the beginning of the project, there was a group of partners that defined the project necessities. To do that, it was necessary to talk with the construction companies and understand what were the functionalities that will help them in their daily work. So that several workshops have been organized to connect user necessities with technical developers. After the analysis of the main inefficiencies and improvement points of the on-site executions, it was obtained as a long list of user requirements for the digital twin construction platform. Well, this list of requirements resulted in a series of use cases and KPIs. After that, each developer refined the use cases according to the project objectives. So there were defined the following groups of use cases. The use cases to improve progress monitoring and quality control, to enhance occupationally safety and health, and to optimize production planning and the use of the equipment. Also, some KPIs were defined to measure the behavior of the construction processes and its efficiency. They enable to objectively measure if the process is evolving according to the expectations and the initial targets. The KPIs of this framework were organized into 3 groups, and they address the aspects of execution excellency, quality, and safety. They are the elements that allow us to demonstrate the validity of the different technical functionalities developed in the BIM2TWIN project. The demonstration activities should be focused on the final users. So during them, the users should properly understand how to perform the functionalities and the platform. The performance of the platform of the BIM2TWIN environment from the user's point of view consists on understanding that the DBT platform is the main core where all data should be integrated. The user should dump the project data in the platform, then the functionalities are going to be fed by this data, and they will provide information to the platform. Finally, the DBT platform is a data lake composed of the construction company's data and the information generated by the APIs. And this data will be shown in the dashboard through the KPIs and the 3D viewer tool. So the demonstration of the project was a long phase that started a few months before the on-site demonstration took place. It was composed of different tasks, and the steps we follow during this period are these. So first of all, we should plan and design the setup implementation of the DBT platform for each case scenario. Also, some devices were installed to collect raw data to feed the platform and the technical functionalities. After that, we should implement and operate the DBT platform in each real case scenario. And after the implementation, we should validate the use of the DBT platform and tools and collect requests for improvement. Finally, an evaluation of the platform should be done in order to assess its effectiveness in improving the construction process compared to the initial situation. Well, one of the first steps in the project is the pilot selection. This should be done by the different companies. First of all, it was necessary to define the characteristics and the key attributes of the possible pilot projects. At the beginning, each construction company proposed one pilot project to perform the demonstrations. However, when the demonstration approached, some of the construction sites were not available anymore due to a series of setbacks, such as changes in the schedule or the duration of some of the works. So, new pilots were required, and a question arises: what characteristics should these new pilots have? So in this research, some important constraints appear and made the demonstration phase more difficult. The first question was how to connect the concept of the digital twins with the reality of construction sites. Also, not all the construction companies have the same level of digitalization, and each building company follows its construction methodologies. Also, we appreciated difficulties between data collection and work site. Like, not all the sites were the same, so not all the devices were suitable for all the construction sites. For example, it is not possible to fly drones in all the places, and also some of the work sites are small and they don't have space for cranes, and it's not possible to install cameras on them. Other challenge was that the average contact time of contractors is shorter than the demonstration period. And also we found some difficulties in matching the construction phase with the demonstration phase due to the gap between real construction project timing and the research project schedules. Also, the long bidding process period and the uncertainty of contracts made the election of the pilot more difficult. So after all this research, some conclusions arose. For example, more than one pilot per construction company may be necessary for the full demonstration. And also, it was not possible to define the pilot projects for the entire demonstration so early in the process. Another outcome was that as the construction sites are different, so different approaches should be considered in terms of data collection or digitalization. So in the end, it was agreed that a different strategy was needed to be prepared for the demonstration activities. So as a result of all this process, an alternative approach has been considered. Firstly, it was suggested to change the focus. We should focus on the construction process and monitoring needs to match the demonstration activities with the pilot sites. In order to do that, we should start defining which conditions the construction sites must have to host the demonstration activities. And this ended in the creation of a document. It was a flexible framework which looked to gather all information needed to select the different demonstration projects. This document was the demonstration passport, which aimed to collect information about the building and the monitoring needs from the use cases. Its purpose was to gather as much information as possible to be able to prepare for any event and ensure a smooth demonstration between the partners and construction workers. It is composed by a series of structured templates to be used as a live document, in which the partners should fill in the information throughout the project and on demand. It collects information for each pilot site and that could be needed for further planning, definition, and refinement of the demonstration activities to be carried out in each site. It fits the actual needs of the project since the schedule of the pilot sites will match the schedule of the project and the demonstration activities will be more strictly adapted to the platform development. It also allows for more than one pilot site each construction company when it is needed. The demonstration passport is divided into 4 different sections: the demonstration activities, the building information, the implementation, and other relevant information to the project. This template was meant to be used by all partners. Some of them must be responsible for filling in the information that others will later use as a common source of information. Well, as mentioned, this document should be used as the communication file between the construction company and the technical developers. The first part of the passport is about the demonstration activity. In this part, we collect all the information about these demonstration activities and how they will be implemented and what will be measured. Also, there is information about what type of data collection is needed, requirements for the installation of the devices, and who is the responsible of it. Finally, there is a section about the KPIs associated to the use cases and how it will be displayed on the dashboard. This section should be complete by the technical developers. Here we have the second part of the passport, which compiles the information about the pilot project. This section is composed of the building description, construction methodologies, the planning of the project, the equipment used on the site, and some other local requirements. and this information should be completed by the different construction companies. Well, now we are going to jump to the on-site demonstration phase. So for these demonstration activities, we have to choose some projects from the construction company of the consortiums. Those companies are Leire, Spada, and ACCIONA, which are located in Finland, France, and Spain. As we can see, each construction company offers different building typologies and different construction methods, which will give a diverse feedback from users. This also will enrich the final results of the project. As already mentioned, some data is needed to develop all the functionalities and to feed the BIM2TWIN platform. Some of this data should be provided by the construction companies and the others should be collected from the sites. The data provided by the sites is the information about the building, which is its plans, BIM models, or the schedules. And to collect the data from the site, several tools and cameras have been installed in the different demonstration places. So as mentioned, the demonstration is a phase of this research project. The aim of performing a series of demonstration sessions was to evaluate the behavior of the platform from the end user's point of view, considering the use cases developed by the technical work packages and the KPIs identified at the beginning of the project, to give some recommendations to improve the functionalities and the proper platform. To that end, 2 rounds of demonstrations have been carried out. The first one in February 2023 and the second one in September 2023. Both rounds involve the 3 construction companies, Leire, Spada, and ACCIONA, the platform developers, and the technical partners. The first round provided the user feedback for the improvement and further development of the platform. The second round presented the evolution of the platform and gathered second requests for improvement for its final version. The final version of the platform is checked internally for the fulfillment of the objective laid out at the beginning of the project. Well, now I'm going to explain the content of the demonstrations. In both demonstrations, the objective was to show a complete overview of the BIM2TWIN project. To that end, we show the dashboard and the 3D viewer where output data was presented. Also, well, here you can see all the APIs the technical work packages develop, and they show them how to perform them along the project. So the first demonstration session took place in February 2023, concurrently in Finland, France, and Spain. It aimed to show to the user for the first time the status of each BIM2TWIN functionality, the platform, and the dashboard. The demonstration session in the pilots happened over the course of 2 or 3 days at the sites. Some of the sessions of Mislata and Fabasuli were organized as hybrid meetings, having the presence of partners who participate remotely. Each partner explained the DBT platform, the dashboard, and the functionalities throughout presentations for the users, followed by a survey to establish measures for the platform and requests for functionalities improvements. Overall, the demonstration was qualified as very positive by the users, and some remarks were made. On one hand, it was very interesting to collect, digitalize, and synthesize all the data involved in a construction site in one common platform, using digital twins for construction management. And also, the functionalities proposed could simplify their working procedures a lot. But on the other hand, at this stage, it was possible to see that the technologies were disconnected from each other and more interaction between them and the DBT platform was needed. So considering all these remarks from first demonstration, several actions were implemented to interconnect all the functionalities developed. The demonstration work package coordinates the integration process by creating a series of diagrams where the technical work package could understand how an end user should use the different functionalities of the platform and organize the information from the work packages with the final user in mind. First of all, to coordinate all the functionalities with the platform, it was necessary to properly define the different workflows of the APIs and the dashboards for the final user. To that end, it was created the end user's workflow diagram that should be completed by the technical developers. Also, it was necessary to connect the different APIs between them in a way they could be fed by the data provided by the other functionalities. To that end, another diagram was created. To properly integrate all these, all partners worked together, searching all the connections and providing methods of sharing data. The result of this integration process was a proper platform, which was a data lake where all APIs should take the data and provide the one processed by them. So, well, considering all this from first demonstration and incorporating all the improvements, we had the second version of the DBT platform. The second demonstration was an online session in which all partners could participate at the same time. According to the request for improvement from the first demonstration, in this second one, we focus on the usage of the BIM2TWIN environment by the end users and the integration of the technologies between them and the platform. Each partner performed a virtual test of their API, and finally, they gather the users' impressions through a survey. It allowed users to see how virtually operate the functionalities, the platform, and the dashboard, using historical data from the different pilot sites. At the end of this demonstration, all users expressed that there was a great improvement in the platform from the first demonstration, but it still needs some refinement. The main remarks were that the BIM2TWIN project has improved since the first round of feedback collection. Also, the relevance of the core concept of the platform and its services were validated by the end users. So finally, BIM2TWIN was considered to be very useful in its services and visualization tools. So finally, from users' point of view, the BIM2TWIN project is positively considered. During the course of this project, some constraints were constantly emerging. For instance, it required effort to manage expectations from the technical providers and construction sites, as they have different vision of the processes. The demonstrations were a great opportunity to bring them closer together to discuss the development of the project. Also, not all companies have the same level of digitalization of their projects and processes. Each company and construction site have their own methods for managing the work and the information generated. Due to this, the digital tools for construction management should be flexible and adaptable. Also, there were many great achievements. For example, having 3 different construction companies to assess the pilot made possible the collection of different opinions that enriched the conclusions. We could see that users showed a great interest on this topic. During the demonstration, users came up with many new ideas and asked for more and more information. Also, it is true that we can find similar solutions to the ones suggested in the market. But however, the innovative factor of the BIM2TWIN is that all functionalities work in a collaborative way and they talk to each other. So, well, at the end, this confirms the relevance of this research project. It shows that the public considers the BIM2TWIN concept as a solid base with great potential for its use in the construction sector. So, well, thank you very much. And I don't know if you have any question.
Thank you very much, Leire. And yes, please feel free to ask any question if you prefer to write them in the chat or make them in person. Okay, we have one question. The question is how the two-way communication in digital twin works for the construction phase in this project. Also, how often the data from the construction sites are getting updated in the DT? Is it real time?
Well, during the project, it depends on the different sites, because, well, as mentioned, not all the sites has the same size and the same conditions. So it depends on how the developers were needing the different information. So at the moment, it wasn't properly schedule how we were collecting this data. So it wasn't like properly planned. So this is something to work on in the future, because at this point of the project, we were like collecting the data when it was needed for the project. But at the end, it should be collected in real time, and it should be and this information should be collected by the platform and automatically feed all the functionalities, and they should be like talking to each other in real time. I haven't heard. I don't know if you are talking, because I think you are muted, Ilaria.
Thank you, Leire. Thank you so much. We have another question, which is, as a construction company and final user of the platform, what is missing in this solution to be implemented in your construction sites?
Well, first of all, as a construction company in the building sector in Spain, we are not allowed to implement this kind of technologies without the sufficient level of maturity. So as we mentioned, this is a research project, and it should achieve a tier L6, which means that it should be validated in a really relevant environment, which is what we have done. But if we would like to implement this in a real world site, we should achieve tier L9, which means we should validate and certificate this project in real environment, and finally do successful testing in this real environment. So there is some work to be done before implementing this in the real world sites.
Thank you. And one more that we just received, it relates to the demonstration passport.
Mm-hmm.
How does it relate to the digital building logbook?
Okay, well, of course, the digital building logbook is much more complex, and it encompasses the entire life cycle and value chain of the building, with great amount of data that should be stored. So what we did here is we borrowed this concept and adapted to our needs within the project by creating a set of templates in which the partners should fill in, and the information would be available to all. This information was used by the consortium in different ways according to the different roles. So a lot of actors were involved, and all of them have different needs of information. So the concept of the digital building logbook is based on a common data repository that facilitates information exchange, the transparency, and the decision making, which is the same concept we want to transfer to the demonstration passport. We want to create a flexible document to serve as an information exchange document between the different actors of the project.
Thank you. At the moment, I have no other questions. So please, if anyone else is interested in asking, we still have a bit of time. Okay, we have one last question. Okay, the question is a bit longer. Do you think we can really implement the concept of DT in its true essence during the construction phase of a construction project? I have seen some studies on DT during the operation phase where the DT can communicate with the building sensor, like it can change the conditions within the building. Do you think we can have this two-way communication, advanced analytics in the construction phase?
I'm going to read the question because it's a bit long, so in order to answer all the parts. Okay, so So the aim of this platform is to be a tool to help like the construction management. So its purpose is to really be connected to these sensors and to change like things in the construction site if they are not working properly or according to the schedule. So with more work and with more tests and with a final refinement of the project, yes, I think this could help and this could work for construction sites, this concept of the digital twins.
Perfect. So we are within the 40 minutes. So today we are present. We are perfect in terms of timing. As you have seen from Bruno's presentation, we have other 2 webinars to go. You'll find the link in the chat as well. So please, if you're interested, register to them, but you will be able to see the recordings as well on our YouTube channel, which is linked to our website page. I think Bruno, would you like to say something?
No, not
Okay.
specifically.
Sorry, I thought you wanted to speak. Okay, then I think if there are no further questions, we can end the webinar here. Thank you very much, Leire, for the presentation, and
Thank you.
hope to see you all to next webinar, which will take place on the 26th of March. And yeah, as I said, all the information are in the link I pasted in the chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leire. Thank you, Leire.
Thank you.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Have a good
Bye-bye.